Chapter 12. Submission Time. Filling out and submitting your application is the next step you'll need to take. As part of the admissions process, you will be required to fill out and submit an online application. This will ask for your personal information, your educational background, your field of study, your intended date of enrollment, your documents such as transcripts, certificate of completion, resume, and so on. There may be other details that you need to fill in, but this is the general information that you can expect to come across. You might also need to submit proof of funds for your intended program at this point. If you'll be applying for funding, you will need to do this at this time. If you're applying for funding with the university itself, be sure to attach a copy of that application. In most cases, however, proof of funds will only need to be submitted when you've received a letter of acceptance. That being said, this isn't always the case, so read your application thoroughly to ascertain this information. Once you've completed the online application and attached all of the necessary documentation, you will need to pay a non-refundable application fee. Pay attention to the details. When you apply to several universities simultaneously through various online systems, make sure to follow the exact steps as stipulated on each application form. If you're uncertain of anything, be sure to reach out to the university in question. This is why applying in advance is so important. If you apply at the last minute and you're unsure of anything, this could delay your application process. If you miss the window to apply, this could greatly reduce your chances of receiving a placement. When your application has been submitted, be sure to check if you've been navigated to a waiting page. In some cases, universities will provide you with a temporary waiting portal that you can check from time to see if your application has been processed yet. If that's the case, be sure to bookmark the page. Optional fields: to check or not to check. With many university applications, there will be optional fields as well as mandatory fields. Be sure to run through the application 2 or 3 times to make sure you've completed the mandatory fields. While some systems will alert you when you haven't filled a mandatory field, this is not always the case, so don't rely on that happening. Moreover, you might want to fill in some of the optional fields as well. If you haven't had the option to be contacted by a student representative or administrator, we would definitely recommend opting for this. This will ensure that you get as much information on the university admissions process as possible. Remember, the finer details won't always be available online, so trying to tap into as many free resources as possible will definitely work in your favor. Never feel apprehensive about asking for help. Universities always commend people for speaking up, especially for anything that's unclear. Online application systems are not perfect, and there may very well be an error that the administrator has missed. Questioning this will show that you have a go-getter attitude and that you are willing to call attention to certain errors when it's necessary. Application checklist. When you go over your application, make sure you've attended to all of the items on the following checklist. Your info. Have I provided accurate information? Your country. Your country of origin refers to the country you were born in. Country of residence refers to where you currently reside. Any error. Use a free software like Grammarly Writing Assistant to spell check your answers. And your email. Don't use an offensive email address. If you can, create a respectful email address that is just for applying. End of chapter checklist. Tick off each box when you feel that you know the answers to the questions with the utmost certainty. Am I aware of the application deadlines? Have I made sure to do this as early as possible? Is there an opportunity for me to get contacted by a student advisor? And have I spell-checked my applications? For more information on the admissions process, please go to our website, www.radviser.com.